You know that feeling when you open your credit card statement and somewhere between the restaurant charges and the online shopping haul, there's this tiny little line that says rewards earned, $14.23. And for half a second, you feel like you won something. Like the system finally worked in your favor. That's exactly what they want you to feel. Because here's what that statement doesn't show you. Right next to that $14 in rewards, there's $187 in interest charges sitting quietly in the fine print. And if you're carrying a balance while chasing those rewards points, you are playing a game where the house has already counted the cards. So in this video, we're going to break down the actual math behind credit card rewards programs, who they're really designed for, the psychological tricks baked into every swipe, and whether your cashback card is quietly making you poorer. By the end of this, you'll never look at a points balance the same way again. Part 1. Your brain is being played. Let's start with why credit cards make you spend more in the first place. Because this isn't about willpower. This is neuroscience. Researchers at MIT ran a study where they auctioned off sold-out Boston Celtics tickets to MBA students. Half were told they'd pay by cash. Half were told they'd pay by credit card. The credit card group bid up to 100% more for the exact same tickets. Double. The only variable was the payment method, and it gets weirder. Brain imaging studies published in Scientific Reports found that when people pay by credit card, the brain's dopaminergic reward center, the same system activated by gambling and certain drugs, actually lights up. Credit cards don't just reduce the pain of spending, they add a reward signal on top. Your brain is literally treating a purchase as a win. There's a concept in behavioral economics called the pain of paying. When you hand over cash, your brain registers a small but real sense of loss. That friction is actually protective. It slows you down. But credit cards almost completely eliminate that friction. The payment is invisible. It happens weeks later, buried in a monthly statement alongside 15 other transactions. By the time the bill arrives, your brain has already moved on. Here's where it gets really interesting. When McDonald's started accepting credit cards, the average transaction jumped from $4.50 to $7. That's a 56% increase. Just from changing the payment method. The food didn't get better. The hunger didn't increase. The only thing that changed was how the brain processed the cost. Part 2. How rewards turn spending into earning. Now, here's what the rewards programs layer on top of all that psychology. Think about it this way. When you use a 2% cashback card, your brain doesn't code the transaction as spending $100. It codes it as spending $100 and earning $2. The act of spending has been reframed as earning. That's not an accident. That's the entire point of the product. Notice how card companies never say, spend and get cash back. They always say, earn rewards. Language like that is deliberate. It flips the transaction from a loss into a gain in your mental accounting. And once you believe you're earning something, you start looking for more opportunities to earn it. Category bonuses make this even more potent. 5% back on dining, 3% on groceries, 2% everywhere else. Now you're not just spending, you're optimizing. You feel almost obligated to use the right card in each category. Missing a bonus category starts to feel like leaving money on the table. This is the fascinating part. Because the entire incentive structure is designed to maximize your transaction volume, not your net worth. A Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago study found something damning. When a card issuer introduced a 1% cashback reward, they paid out roughly $25 per month per cardholder in rewards. But cardholder spending jumped by $68 per month, and debt increased by $115 per month. For every single dollar paid out in cash back, the bank generated $2.72 in new spending and $4.60 in new debt. The reward isn't costing them anything, it's printing money. Part 3. The real math. Who's actually winning? Let me show you exactly how this works with real numbers. because this is where most people completely mess this up. Say you carry the average American credit card balance of $6,500 at a 24% APR. That's $1,560 in interest every year. Now let's say you're diligent about using your 2% cashback card on everything. You spend $30,000 a year. Groceries, gas, subscriptions, the works. You earn $600 in rewards. Let's do the math. $600 in rewards minus $1,560 in interest equals a net loss of $960 per year. You are paying almost $1,000 annually for the privilege of earning $600 back. To actually break even on interest alone, you'd need to spend $78,000 a year with a zero balance, which defeats the entire premise of needing a rewards card in the first place. Here's what nobody talks about. A recent Bankrate survey found that 72% of people who carry a credit card balance are still actively trying to earn rewards. Nearly 3 out of 4 people in credit card debt are chasing 2% cash back while paying 22% interest. That's the behavioral equivalent of trying to fill a leaking bucket by adding more water faster. The math just doesn't work. And remember, roughly 47% of cardholders carry a balance month to month, which means for nearly half of all rewards card users in America, the program is actively costing them money while making them feel like they're winning. Part 4. Who's actually paying for your rewards? Let me be real with you for a second, because this is the part that's going to sting a little. Your rewards aren't funded by the bank eating a loss. They're funded by other people, specifically the people who can't pay their balance in full. The CFPB's own market data found that people who pay their balance in full every month capture 73% of all rewards, while paying just 6% of interest and fees. People who carry balances, they pay 94% of interest and fees, while receiving only 27% of the rewards. The disciplined, wealthy cardholders are getting subsidized by people living paycheck to paycheck. And it goes even further. Every time you swipe your rewards card at a store, the merchant pays a swipe fee to the card network, typically 1.5% to 3.5% of the transaction. In 2024, those fees totaled $187.2 billion. Merchants pass those costs into their prices, which means everyone, including people paying cash, pays slightly more for everything every day to fund the rewards ecosystem. Federal Reserve research estimated that each cash-using household effectively transfers about $150 per year to card-using households. It's a reverse Robin Hood system baked into the price of your groceries. Part 5. The travel hacking myth. I know what you're thinking. What about the people who are actually good at this? The travel hackers who fly business class for free. I know this sounds impossible, but let me be honest. It's real, a very specific type of person. We're talking about people with super prime credit scores who spend hours optimizing their points strategy, who never carry a balance, and who treat the system like a part-time job. That's a tiny fraction of cardholders. Less than 0.5% of America's 190 million credit card users. For everyone else, points are a depreciating asset you don't control. Airlines move from fixed award charts to dynamic pricing with zero notice. United domestic awards that used to cost 12,500 miles now average 22,500. Hilton Honors luxury rooms went from 120,000 to 250,000 points per night, and about 31% of cardholders never redeem their rewards at all, generating over $16 billion in annual breakage that goes straight back to the issuers as profit. You overspent to earn something you'll never use. Look, here's the bottom line. The choice is yours. You can keep optimizing your rewards and feel like you're winning a game the house designed. Or you can step back, look at the actual numbers, and start playing a different game entirely. Your future self will thank you.